And our top story in Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif has claimed to have emerged as the single largest party in these elections in Pakistan. Nawaz Sharif of Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz concedes no party has the full mandate and he respects the mandate of the people of Pakistan. Just a short while back, he said his younger brother Nawaz Sharif and other PMLN leaders will reach out both to Asif Ali Zardari of the Pakistan People's Party and Maulana Fazlur Rehman and other leaders in an attempt to form a government to bring Pakistan out of the current mess the country is in. We'll just get to the numbers in Pakistan. It's a fractured mandate, no clear majority to any party. Independents, incidentally, have emerged as the single largest, if I may, the group in Pakistan, because Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf insists that they back these independents after the military crackdown. So is Imran Khan the story of these elections? Despite the crackdown by Pakistan Army, Imran Khan was jailed, sentenced to several years in prison, 14 years in one case, 7 years in another, 10 years in the third case, facing 150 charges, several leaders arrested, several leaders tortured, and yet PTI supported independents have emerged as the single largest group of independents in this. Of course, there are several claiming to have won this mandate. Before I get you more on the story, let's quickly listen in to Mia Nawaz Sharif claiming victory and listing out how he intends to form the next government in Pakistan.
बहुत ही प्यारे बुजुर्गों, भाइयों, बहनों, बच्चों, आपकी आंखों में मैं साफ साफ खुशी की लहर देख रहा हूं, आपकी आंखों में एक चमक देख रहा हूं, बिल्कुल पहचान रहा हूं मैं चमक आपकी आंखों में, आपकी आंखों में आंखें डाल के देख रहा हूं और उस चमक को भी देख रहा हूं जो आपकी आंखों में है। ये चमक कह रही है कि मेरे पाकिस्तान को संवार दो। ये चमक कह रही है कि पाकिस्तान जख्मी है, इसके जख्म भरो। ये चमक कह रही है कि हमारी जिंदगियों में रोशन तब्दीली आनी चाहिए। ये चमक पाकिस्तान को एक बहुत खूबसूरत मुल्क देखना चाहती है और मैं आज आपको अपनी तरफ से, ये शहबाज शरीफ साहब की तरफ से, मरियम औरंगजेब की तरफ से, ये सब खड़े हैं दाएं और बाएं, हम सब आपको मुबारकबाद कहते हैं। इसलिए कि अल्लाह के फजलो करम से इन इंतखाबात में पाकिस्तान मुस्लिम लीग नून सबसे बड़ी जमात बन के उभरी है। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, मुस्लिम लीग नून इज द लार्जेस्ट सिंगल पार्टी इन द कंट्री टुडे आफ्टर द इलेक्शंस। और मैं समझता हूं कि हमारा फर्ज है कि इस मुल्क को भंवर से निकाला जाए। जो पाकिस्तान आज शायद दुनिया में एक मुनफरिद मकाम हासिल कर चुका होता, लेकिन अपनी कोताहियों की वजह से हमने वो मकाम हासिल नहीं किया। और मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, वो मोमेंटम जो हमने बनाया था 1990 में, जब मैं पहली दफा वज़ीर आज़म बना था, अगर वो मोमेंटम कायम रहता, आज पाकिस्तान दुनिया की बहुत बड़ी ताकत होती। ये जो मैं आपको हल बता रहा हूं ना, हल, क्या आप इस हल को मंजूर करते हैं? मैंने शहबाज शरीफ साहब की ड्यूटी लगाई है कि शहबाज शरीफ साहब इस सिलसिले में आज पेशरफ्त करें और आज ही मोहतरम आसिफ जरदारी साहब से मुलाकात करें और मोहतरम मौलाना फजलुर रहमान साहब से मुलाकात करें, MQM के साथ मुलाकात करें, डॉक्टर सिद्दीकी के साथ मुलाकात करें और फिर मिलकर बताएं कि पाकिस्तान के मौजूदा हालात इस बात का तकाजा करते हैं कि हम सब मिलकर इस भंवर से किश्ती को निकालें।
So you heard Mian Nawaz Sharif there. हम सब मिलकर इस भंवर से कश्ती को निकालेंगे. We'll get Pakistan out of this mess the country is in, he claims. But there are many claimants to the throne right now in Pakistan. Big story just coming in. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Party, that is Imran Khan's party, they've also claimed victory in these elections. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has said they have the absolute victory in these elections. They've claimed they have majority not just in Pakistan's Punjab province, which incidentally is seen as a stronghold of Mian Nawaz Sharif, but also in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which is Imran Khan's stronghold. And apart from that, they say that they have the numbers to form the government at the center, the federal government in Pakistan. And there is a spike in tension across Pakistan with protests that have broken out in several parts of Pakistan. PTI supporters and leaders have taken to the streets and they're chanting, "Chheen ke lenge azadi." Listen in.
कब्जा करके एमक्यूएम को जबरदस्ती मुसल्लत करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, तो इसका क्या मतलब क्या है? दोबारा से दहशतगर्दी का राज जो है वो इस शहर पर मुसल्लत कर रहे हैं एमक्यूएम की सूरत में, जिससे जान छूटते छूटते इतना वक्त गुजरा था। और ये मैं इस पर शदीद एहतजाज करता हूँ और ये किसी सूरत भी काबिल कबूल नहीं है। और इलेक्शन कमीशन ने तो कोई रोल ही प्ले नहीं किया है। आप NA 246 में देखें, वहाँ पर कितने चीज़ें सामने आ गई कि ठप्पा लगाने के लिए आ गए, कब्जा कर लिया। बल्दिया में औरतें डाल रही हैं वोट, कोई पकड़ने वाला नहीं है। नई कराची में इसी तरह से हुआ है। तो ये कौन सा इलेक्शन है? और अफसोस की बात यह है कि टीवी चैनल भी उनको या तो पाबंद किया गया है, ये वो कुछ कहने के लिए तैयार नहीं है, सब अच्छा की रिपोर्ट दे रहे हैं। तो ये बहुत तशवीशनाक सूरत हाल है और उस पर हम शदीद एहतिजाज करेंगे।
और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमने ये इलेक्शन लड़ा और इलेक्शन 8 फरवरी को जो कल हुआ, इसके अंदर हमने ये इलेक्शन बहुत बड़े मार्जिन से जीता। मेरे पास ये फॉर्म 45 पड़े हैं सारे, 261 पोलिंग स्टेशन है टोटल NA 48 के, जिनमें से 250 से ज्यादा मैंने जीते। ये मेरे पास फॉर्म 45 पड़े हैं सारे और हमारी कोई 45 से 50 हजार वोटों की लीड थी। दोबारा रिपीट कर रहा हूं, 45 से 50 हजार वोटों की लीड थी। और अभी मुझे नोटिफिकेशन पता चला है कि जनाब मेरे इसका हारने का नोटिफिकेशन हुआ है, जबकि मैं सुबह 6 बजे तक RO ऑफिस खड़ा रहा हूं, जहां पर रेंजर्स भी मौजूद थी और RO साहब ने हमें मिलना गवारा नहीं किया। शाम 5 बजे से मेरे बुकला वहां खड़े थे, जो मेरे अपने लॉ फर्म के थे, इस्लामाबाद बार एसोसिएशन के थे, पिंडी बार एसोसिएशन के थे। उनको अंदर जाने की इजाजत नहीं थी। उसके बाद मैं जब खुद गया और मैंने जाके वहां पर 6 बजे गया, फिर 9 बजे गया, कहा जी 11 बजे देंगे, फिर 11 बजे गया, फिर 2 बजे गया और फिर सुबह 6 बजे तक हम खड़े रहे, हमें रिजल्ट नहीं दिया। और अभी पता चला कि जनाब हम इलेक्शन हार गए, हमारी पता नहीं 57,000 वोट है, मेरी 90,000 वोट है, 88,000 प्लस वोट बन रही है, 80,000 प्लस वोट बन रही है। ये मेरे पास रिकॉर्ड मौजूद है। तो मैं ये अपील करता हूं जनाब चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ पाकिस्तान साहब से भी कि जनाब इलेक्शन होने चाहिए मुनसिफाना और उसके अंदर सारा मयार पूरा करना चाहिए। ये RO से तो पूछ लें, आपने RO जो है वो इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान ने जो अपॉइंट किए थे, जो हमारे DC AC और ये लोग थे सारे DCR साहब, मिलना गवारा नहीं किया जनाब कैंडिडेट्स को, उन्होंने अंदर जाना गवारा नहीं किया।
So we've got you both sides of the story. Both PMLN and PTI claim they've won elections. Both the allegation is, and PTI is alleging that this election is being stolen by the state in favor of PMLN. Let's try and make sense of this. So what are the numbers that we have? And we'll just put out those numbers on your screen. Of the 265 seats, details of 228 are out in public domain. The independents have emerged as the single largest grouping in Pakistan, or independents at 93, Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz at 64, Pakistan People's Party at 51, MQM PPP at 13. I quickly want to bring in our guests on the broadcast to try and make sense of what's happening. Mona Alam is a senior journalist, joins us from Pakistan, as does Tanzila Mazar, both joining us from Pakistan. Geeta Mohan, India Today's foreign affairs editor, with me from our newsroom, keeping a hawk eye on developments in Pakistan. Ambassador Prabhu Dayal also with me for a perspective on the story. But Mona, you've been on air through the day today. Mona, what's happening in Pakistan? Who has won? Both PTI and PMLN claim victory.
Of course, the independents have emerged as the largest group which has been victorious. And yes, they're crying foul. They're saying that their results have been tampered since last night. But the fact remains that the results were not out completely. I mean, we've been in transmissions since past 2-3 days, and as a matter of fact, only 10 or 15% of results were out for as long as results were coming in. But then obviously they halted, and they halted because the caretaker government had turned off internet. Not exactly internet, they had turned off cellular services across the country owing to the security threats. And as a matter of fact, just a day before elections, 26 people were lost their lives in different areas of Pakistan owing to these threats and terror attacks.
Okay.
So, I mean, I wouldn't say that they never existed in the first place. So they did exist, and which is why the cellular services were out. But as a matter of fact, also due to the outage of cellular services, the results were delayed. And they were delayed by quite a bit. And this
But
is what has
is this election,
created
Geeta,
suspicion in everyone's mind.
before I bring in Tanzila Mazar, Geeta, is this election the story of Imran Khan being a very formidable power in Pakistan against all odds? The entire Pakistani state, the all-powerful Pakistan army, they put him in jail. They sentenced him to 14 years in one case, 10 years in another, 7 years in the third, broke his party, took away his election symbol, did not let him campaign, and yet independents backed by him are the single largest group. 93 have won so far.
Well, Gaurav, no matter what happens from here on in terms of cobbling up an alliance, in terms of a coalition, in terms of inviting each and every one, which Nawaz Sharif did, to form government for a so-called better future of Pakistan, no matter what happens from here on, Imran Khan has and did steal the show when it comes to the elections, when it comes to supporters and the mandate of the people that now stands against a military establishment that interferes in the political sphere of Pakistan. So that's a very clear mandate. Imagine today is a day when a party comes and holds or delivers a victory speech at 64.
Okay.
Never have we seen a party really or a party leader come out without simple majority to declare victory. This is 64 versus around 90 of the independents, because they are not a party, and that's why he's come out and declared victory. But it's a strange situation, one that the political parties over there will have to deal with. We'll have to look at the options that they'll have with the independents, since the independents will have to join a party. But today is Imran Khan's day. Whether if Nawaz Sharif, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, or any other leader in Pakistan likes it or not.
Tanzila, we've heard from the PMLN, we've heard from PTI. We haven't heard much from either Asif Ali Zardari or Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. What's happening? What's the thinking in the PPP? Because they too are doing, in a way, they've got 51 of the 265. So will they go either with the independents, or are they open to the idea of tying up with Mia Nawaz Sharif, even though they said they wouldn't ever again?
Well, that's a very interesting question, actually. When I'm talking to you, there are reports that Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and Asif Ali Zardari Saab are already in Lahore in response to Mia Saab's invitation to form the government. Though number you are quoting are very good numbers, and if they could, get a few independents on board, they are there with the equal weight of Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. But since Mia Nawaz Sharif Saab took an initiative and he made the first speech and he invited Pakistan People's Party to become an ally and form a government together, so Asif Ali Zardari and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari are already in Lahore when elections results are still coming out. And Nawaz Sharif Saab has asked Shehbaz Sharif, the former Prime Minister, and his brother to start negotiation with Pakistan People's Party and other parties. But interestingly, Pakistan People's Party were very, very, they were very bitter when they were campaigning in elections, and all the
Yes.
campaign of Bilawal Bhutto Zardari was anti-Nawaz campaign, and he categorically made it clear that he would not become a minister under Shehbaz Sharif or Nawaz Sharif.
Yes.
So I think the interesting times are ahead. Let's see where the independent candidates are going, because there are news and rumors and speculations.
Oh,
Everything
absolutely.
is in the country.
Ambassador Dayal, is the army somewhere orchestrating all of this? How would you look at the results so far? Is this a victory for Imran Khan, and yet has the army stolen that mandate from him?
Well, Gaurav, where Pakistan is concerned, we always have to keep it at the back of our minds that it is not a democracy, it is a deep state. And incidentally, this is precisely what Pakistan's outgoing army chief, General Bajwa, had said. He was giving his last address just before retiring, and he said that people in Pakistan wonder why the army in neighboring India is not viewed with suspicion by the public and why it is not criticized by the public. And he said categorically, in my opinion, the reason for this is the constant meddling by the army in politics for the last 70 years.
Yes.
Now, is this changing? Certainly not. As you pointed out, the army has tried to maneuver things. It has locked up Imran Khan and other leaders of the Tehreek-e-Insaf party. And will the army stand by and now allow the independent candidates who have the support of Imran Khan's party, will it allow them to wield power? Certainly not. I think the army is the decisive factor, and we just have to wait for a few days and we'll see that what will come out is a sort of government which is obedient to the army and which follows the wishes of the army. There is no genuine democracy in that country.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, there will be horse trading, some independents will cross swords, Bilawal Bhutto's party will bargain for seats and ministerial berths with Nawaz Sharif. All these things will happen. But the army is not going to allow a government which is run by independents loyal to the TIP to come into power.
To PTI. Very interesting you should say that, Mona. Is that also your assessment, that is Imran Khan, as a journalist on ground in Pakistan, right in the heart of action, you and Tanzila Mazar can tell us better, is this Imran Khan's moment that against all odds he's emerged as a force in Pakistan and yet will not be in power?
Well, of course, he has emerged as the single most powerful force here in the elections. So talking about Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, I think he has a comfortable majority there.
Yes.
He's in for a 2/3 over there in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and I think he'll be comfortable making government. I think they've already announced it. For Punjab as well, they're almost neck to neck with the PMLN. So I think it's going to be a very tough contest. For the federal government, yes, they'll have to bargain their chips. They'll have to look into themselves. But I wouldn't want to sound as pessimist as the honorable gentleman has been sounding. But I think if it really was the case that they wanted them to manipulate and they wanted them to lose the election, arch opposition of the army and the establishment, and those who've been very vocally against the establishment and their tactics, they have really made it to this election. They've won their seats from their constituencies. So had there been a tampering, had there been some hidden hand at work or at play, I think we here in Pakistan, while we're here on ground, we would have been a much privy source to that kind of an information.
Okay,
that's
but
not the
Geeta,
case.
isn't the Pakistan army...
Opponents of the deep state and establishment have won, and that is a matter of fact.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to sound pessimist. I still have hopes that they will be able to form the government for surety in KP, and I think they'll also be an important coalition member, and I think the most important coalition member if even a hung parliament is formed in the center.
Okay, okay, but will that ease things for Imran Khan or make things more difficult for Imran Khan in the days ahead? But ultimately, what's the message, Geeta, that this election sends out for the army? Is it go back to barracks, or does the army actually emerge as even more powerful? Because ultimately, it's the Pakistan army that will emerge as the judge, jury, and the executioner.
Well, according to me, a few things, Gaurav. In the past, the army has manipulated elections, but it has gone their way. What was Imran Khan in 2018? He was propped up by the establishment, and he did win the kind of numbers that he got. There might have been rigging, but not to the extent and magnitude that we're seeing this year around. So a man who was propped up, there was the long march, Nawaz Sharif was ousted, and all that was done by the establishment. Here, the message is very clear. Irrespective of what the military establishment wanted, the people's mandate, and people have voted for a party or the leaders of a party, a dismantled party today, who stand against the military establishment. So it is a mandate against the establishment.
Okay.
Secondly, many of the terrorists who were in the fray, mainstreaming of terrorists, of those conservative radical Islamists, they have been they have lost, and they've lost miserably, especially Hafiz Saeed's son Talha Saeed. So a rejection of such terrorists by the people of Pakistan.
Okay.
And also, more importantly, if you look at the provinces, the provincial elections, over there also the kind of results that have come in, KPK sweep for Imran Khan, Punjab, a very strong
Powerful
presence of
force.
Imran
Yeah.
Khan, and we are looking at similar positions, lesser so in Sindh because that's a PPP stronghold. But the message is very clear that this is the time for the military to really introspect whether they should be in policy space or be confined to the barracks.
Given their past
Having
history,
said that,
Geeta, military will only look after its own interests.
Absolutely.
Whether it's selling cornflakes or cement and ensuring they stay in power. But what's the message from this election, Tanzila? Will it make life more difficult for Imran Khan, or does he emerge as a more formidable force? Or will the establishment now go all out to decimate Imran Khan to ensure he's not a very powerful entity?
I think it is very difficult to say that this is a conclusion to, military and Imran's romance and then, their conflict, because he has taken things too far. 9th May was an unprecedented event in Pakistan's history, and that has certainly hurt a lot of, the prestige and dignity of the institution and the country also.
Yes.
So I think Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's leadership, which is not in the jails, and people who are running the party right now, they have been, sensibly calling out their shots. Let us see that how they respond to this Nawaz Sharif's reconciliation proposition, whether they think that this is the time to take this country ahead. And there is a certainly serious, realization in the military establishment also that conflict is not the answer for Pakistan's solution. There has been many important initiatives where Pakistan's military establishment has formally joined to resolve Pakistan's economic challenges. And I
Okay.
think they are very well aware. That is why they brought Mia Nawaz Sharif back, and they would, I think, I sense this, that they would take a back seat in political management, and they would, I think,
Okay,
let
orchestrated from
people of
behind.
Pakistan govern.
Okay, because Ambassador Dayal, there is talk that Pakistan International Airlines has to be sold, steel mills in Pakistan have to be sold. Someone like a Mia Nawaz Sharif at the helm of affairs works better. What do you make of what happens next to Imran Khan with this kind of a mandate?
Well, as far as Imran Khan himself is concerned, I think the army has made sure that he's going to be behind bars. So therefore, he will at best be able to play a role in politics through people whom he supports.
Okay.
Now, one of your panelists, Mona Alam, referred to me as a pessimist and said that she's not as pessimistic as me. I'm not a pessimist. I'm not an optimist. I'm a realist. And I've seen Pakistan over the years, and I know that Pakistan is going through very serious economic problems.
Yes.
The man on the street is totally disenchanted with the government, and I think that the army is not unaware of this. So I think that the focus of the army is to somehow try and put the Pakistani economy back on trails. And while it will sit back, it would like to have a government which has a certain degree of stability. Unfortunately, in the manner in which this scenario has unfolded, there may be trouble on the streets because if Imran Khan's party members win as a very large number of seats,
yes,
they're not going to sit back and let somebody else rule the government.
That's a very interesting point to make. And the last 30 seconds that I have on the show, I quickly want to ask Mona Alam and Tanzila that do you anticipate and do you fear, is there an apprehension that there would be violence on the streets of Pakistan in the days ahead if the mandate is truly stolen from Imran Khan-backed independence?
I wouldn't go that far. I still would have my hopes high, and to Ambassador, Mr. Ambassador as well. I think I hope and I pray that we defy our past realities this time, and we do really indeed walk the talk when it comes to the establishment and when it comes to the political parties here as well at the helm of affairs.
Geeta, last 30 seconds. How would India be responding or reacting to what's happening in Pakistan? Just waiting and watching?
Well, absolutely. And a message very clear that for India, terrorism is a major issue. Whichever party comes to power or leader takes the reins, they will have to deal with the issue of terrorism before there can be any bilateral movement between the two countries.
Fair enough. I will let that be the last word on this part of the show. Mona Alam, Tanzila, Ambassador Prabhu Dayal and Geeta for joining me here on this India First special. Many thanks. But don't go anywhere. Up next, there is tension in Haldwani in Uttarakhand when illegal encroachment, including a madrasa, were being removed. There was massive violence. More than 100 police personnel have been injured. Violence and arson. The Director General of the Uttarakhand Police, Abhinav Kumar, joins me on this India First special for the latest. A quick break. We'll come back for this conversation on the latest situation in Uttarakhand. Stay with us.
ये बोला गया कोल स्कैम के ऊपर 1.86 लाख करोड़ का भारत के लिए नुकसान पहुंचाया। 1.86 लाख करोड़ का नुकसान इनके कोल स्कैम के वजह से भारत देश ने भुगतना पड़ा। फिर सर सुप्रीम कोर्ट उस सिचुएशन को इतना गंभीरता से लेकर के 214 कोल ब्लॉक्स का लाइसेंस को रद्द करवाया, पूरे रद्द कर दिया। सिस्टम हो गया, बंद हो गए, सफाई हो गया, मगर उससे क्या हुआ देश का? उसका देश के लिए क्या हुआ? उसका असर देश के लिए कितना हुआ? आज उसके असेसमेंट देख लीजिए सर। जॉब लॉस हुआ, इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं आया इस देश में, उसके कारण एंसिलरी इंडस्ट्रीज जो एमएसएमई छोटे उद्योग, लघु उद्योग, वो पूरे ठप पड़ा। फिर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए कोयला इंपोर्ट करना पड़ा। देश भरपूर है कोल, देश में भरपूर है कोल, फिर भी इंपोर्ट करना पड़ा। फिर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन पूरे के पूरे बंद हो गया था। और आपको भी याद होगा माननीय स्पीकर सर, आपको भी याद होगा स्पीकर सर, उस जमाने के पत्रकार लोग कितने लिखते थे। थर्मल कोल प्लांट में 3 दिन का स्टॉक है कोल, 4 दिन 4th डे कोल नहीं है, कैसे प्रोड्यूस करेंगे? तब तक आएगा स्टॉक, नहीं आएगा। ऐसे टेंशन में पावर प्लांट्स चलते थे उस जमाने में। स्टॉक नहीं है, कोल नहीं आ रहा, बंद हो गया 214 कोल ब्लॉक्स का लाइसेंस, कैसे चलाएंगे देश? और उसका नतीजा देख लीजिए, लॉस इन रेवेन्यू फॉर कोल प्रोड्यूसिंग स्टेट्स। आज मगरमच्छी का आंसू, क्रोकोडाइल टीयर्स चला रहे हैं। कोल प्रोड्यूसिंग स्टेट्स कहां है सर? पूरे ईस्टर्न बाग में, पूर्वी बाग में है। झारखंड हो, छत्तीसगढ़ हो, इन सभी स्टेट्स का रेवेन्यू लॉस हुआ। इनका जिम्मेदारी उसमें कुछ है या नहीं? उसके लिए क्या काम किया?
Hello and welcome once again to India Today's Mood of the Nation poll. All the findings in India Today magazine brought to you by Sea Voter. We've gone state by state.